Well, welcome. This is a critical conversation, a segment that shares ideas and insights that equip and encourage us, and so that we can be effective leaders. It's all about leadership, and when leaders fail, then everybody crumbles. Everything falls and rises on the altar of leadership. Welcome. This is critical conversation, and by the way, you can follow us. And by the way, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel, Inawezekana TV? By the way, you need immediately to go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel for these and more videos that are going to encourage you. Now, what we are saying here, we want to talk about for the next few weeks. We will be talking about the leaders that we need today. And the reason why we need to talk about leaders that we need today is because most of the people that we are electing for leadership, or those people that are offering themselves for leadership, mostly for most of them, they look like politicians. But allow me to say four important things that are here. Number one, these times requires credible leaders, not clever leaders. The times that we're living in requires credible leaders. And when we talk about credible leaders, we are talking about people that will keep their promises on people. We are talking about people that will be able to come back and tell people why is it that they were not able to keep the promises that they gave to the people. We are talking about people that will be very honest on what they can do and what they cannot be able to do. But what we are having, we have a crop of people that are very clever, people who are conmen, people who actually gamble with people's life, people who just think that leadership is an opportunity to enrich themselves. And what they are clever, they are political conmen, the political parties that they form every day. Now, and when we talk about leaders we need today, we are not necessarily talking about the political class, but actually we are talking about churches, we are talking about the villages, and even in business. Those are the kind of leaders that we are talking about. So we are saying the first thing, that this time, and remember these times, what are these times? The times when you are going through COVID, the times when you are going through a lot of uncertainties, a moment when business are closing down, a moment when churches is going through upheaval, a lot of tension. These are the times that we are talking about. And we are saying we require, it is mandatory, it is very important. Any leader who is going to survive, any leader who is going to make an impact in today's time, then needs to be credible, needs to be straightforward, needs to employ integrity, needs to embrace faithfulness, honesty, righteousness, those kinds of values in their own lives, so that they can be able to survive these times. These times, by the way, are very challenging. These times are uncertain. These times are unpredictable. These times are very worrying. These times are very dangerous. There are times when you do not know when the next tragedy is going to rise. These are very perilous times, if you ask me. They are very dangerous times. And so in these times that we are living in, when the Bible is telling us they are the last times, what kind of leaders do you need? If you ask John will tell you very simply, we really need credible leaders, not clever leaders. That is very important for us to be able to know. And then the next thing that we need to say, is that we need to define what credibility is. And we are saying credibility is lacking in the marketplace, and that is a big lament for today. Credibility is something that everybody is looking for. Credibility is something that everybody wants. Credibility is something, when you go to church, people are saying we need credible leaders. When it comes to politics, everybody is saying, Wanjiko is saying we need credible leaders. When you go to the business world, everybody is saying we need credible leaders. When you go to the villages, people are saying we need credible leaders. But again, even as we talk about the need for credibility, what we are saying here is that it is lacking. There are very few credible leaders, and what is in plenty in the marketplace is what we call clever leaders. Clever leaders who are not afraid of changing goalposts at will, without feeling an inch of shame politicians or businessmen who are not worried to sell dirty things and dead things to Kenyans and even to the world. People who are not worried to sell expired products and release them to the markets. We are saying credibility is lacking. And look at these two shocking statements that we are about to say. Only 49%. Think about this. This is a 5 out of 10 of employees trust. They have confidence. They can rely. They can believe. Trust their senior leaders. So with the 51, or what we call 5 out of 10, they have a lot of mistrust. When they look at the leader, they are full of suspicion. They cannot allow them to lead them. They can't trust them with their dreams. They can't trust them with their vision. They can't trust them with their lives. They are full of mistrust. They look at them as Al-Shabaab. They look at them as men and women who are ready to strike them. And so when we live in an environment that is full of mistrust, what happens? Labor turnover goes high. Profit margin goes low. Market share goes low. Morale goes low. Creativity goes low. All these critical things that actually should propel a nation, should propel a church to growth. When it comes to the grading commission, is something that just goes out in the wind. Why? Because we are saying a lot of people, there is mistrust. And then finally, and this is very disturbing, is only 28% of people, of employees, trust the information from their leaders. You can imagine. Okay, just put this to 30. That means 3 out of 10 are the people who actually believe and trust that the message that is coming from their leaders, whether it is the church people, whether this is from in the business sector, whether this is in the politics, this is a statistics, and actually I would say is neglectable. It's actually very shocking that 28% of the people trust what their leaders are telling them. And you can imagine in a world like this, when Kenya is about to go to election, that only 28% will believe what the politicians, what the those people, the aspirants will be telling their leaders. Let's go to the next thing, and allow
it's
me
22 hours.
Very quickly to make 4 key observations about credibility. Number 1, credibility is not something that is earned in a day. Credibility is not something that is earned in a day. But the most shocking thing is that it can be lost in a day. And that is the most shocking thing. In fact, we say a lady can be so marketable today, but tomorrow, just by a small mistake, it can be lost. And this is very critical to realize that credibility is not something that is built in a day. It is something that you keep on building and and passing the test of credibility day by day. As a pastor, as a leader, as a businessman, as a parent, as a teacher, as a businessman, and as a lawyer, credibility is something that you build every day. You become consistent. You keep your word on people. You deliver. You promise and over deliver. You under promise, you over deliver. You exceed the customer's expectation. And this is something that happens in a day. And the next important thing that we need to say here is that credibility and trust go hand in hand. You cannot be credible and at the same time pack in mistrust in your own life. And what you are saying, no leader can lead effectively without it. And no one can follow a leader that they suspect. If people suspect you as an Al-Shabaab, if people suspect that you're not trustworthy, if people suspect that you're not honest, if people suspect you're not good, that you have ulterior motives, then you can be assured, you can take this to the bank, and they are not going to follow you. Number 3, credible leaders talk the walk. Credible leaders talk the walk. What they promise is what they give. What they say they will do it. They do it the way they say they are going to do it. A credible leader is someone who promises to be there at 8, and will be there at 8. If he doesn't show up at 8, we will give an apology. A leader, and these are the kind of leaders that we need. Credible leaders who walk the walk. They keep their promises on people. And you need to read this statement, because this is very important. That people believe what they see you doing rather than what they hear you saying. I think we need to say that again. People believe what they see you doing rather than believe what they hear you saying. It is one thing for me to say that credibility is important, but the other question that people might be asking is, John credible? Does he keep his word on people? Is he faithful? Does he love people? Does he esteem people? Does he uplift people? When you say you're going to open up opportunities, when you say you're going to dash people money, those that are struggling, when you say you're going to provide ICT, when you say you're going to deliver water, the question people are asking is that are you going to do it? And when they see you doing opposite, then they believe what they see you doing rather than believing what they see you hearing. And then finally, clever leaders don't last. And I think this is a wake-up call for all of us to know that when we become clever, when we behave like conmen, when we do not keep our words on people, when we keep on changing goalposts at will without even appreciating or even apologizing, without actually feeling for the people, then you can be sure that those credible leaders do not last. And we just need to go over the list, just a short list. Talk about somebody like Adolf Hitler. Where is he? Talk about in the Bible Saul, who was a clever leader. Talk about people like Sanballat. Where are they? Talk about Idi Amin. Where are they? These are, wow. Look, talk about Robert Mugabe. These are clever leaders, because one of the things that they do is that they misuse, abuse followers, and because of that, followers get frustrated and they fire them. And those are very important things to remember. Number one, credibility is not something that you earn in a day. Credibility and trust go hand in hand. And then number three, credible leaders talk the walk. And then number three, clever leaders do not last. Now, beloved, what we are telling you, and Wanjiko, as we join an election moment in this country, and every time when God gives you an opportunity to go and elect leaders, whether it is in the village, whether it is in a business, whether it is in the church, or whether it is in the government, as we are about to do, we are encouraging you today that please hire credible leaders. And we are offering the reason why this is very important, because what we are saying is this, that credible leaders are believable. People can believe in them. And the question, when we talk about the believability, what we are saying is that, do they believe what I say? People will believe that when it is so and so who have said it, we can be sure, we can take that to the bank. And to be believable, we must be credible. And to be credible, we must be truthful. Well, thank you very much for watching. And for comments, please, you can SMS, you can WhatsApp us. Follow us on Telegram, or you can follow us on Instagram, or on YouTube, or whatever it is. My name is John Kimani. This is